she walk? Does she talk? Does she come complete? My homeroom angel always pulled me from my seat.
Alright guys, so I went and talked to some military guys who also happen to play a sport. There's one from Greece, one from Rome, one from Egypt. They all play a sport, so I want to talk to them a little bit about the correlation between sports and the military. So why don't you take a look.
Welcome. Today you have made a career choice on what you're going to be, but you've lived in Egypt for your whole life. Can you tell us what you're going to do?
Yes, I've chosen to go into the Egyptian army because it's a great career profession and great pay. The commanders beat the soldiers to show great command, but I am strong because I've been a weightlifter for 10 years.
Wait, can you tell us more about weightlifting?
Yes, we normally lift heavy sandbags, but today I don't have that. I just have a heavy bag.
Will you mind lifting this for us?
Yes.
That looks very challenging.
Yes, it was.
So, Mr. Megatron, your situation is pretty unique. You're a part-time soldier, but also an athlete. Can you go into depth about your soldiering days?
I can. I am a Greek, and I live in a small Greek town, much like many of the citizens around my area. And so when my home is in trouble, most of us go out and battle. But being a soldier is not our full-time job, unlike, say, Sparta. We're part-time soldiers. We're citizen soldiers, I guess. So I have another job that I spend most of my time doing, except for when I'm at war.
And what's that other job?
I'm a professional athlete. I throw the javelin.
And can you go into depth about the javelin?
Sure. See how the javelin works in Greece is it's sort of like modern shot put. You stand inside of a small area and you have to run, and you have to go up inside of that area, and then you throw it as far as you can. Did you want me to try and throw it once, maybe?
Sure, if you can show that to us. Wow, that was a pretty good throw.
Oh, I know. I know.
Mr. Frenzestud, welcome. I know you're a former Roman legionary. You've lived in Rome your whole life. Can you tell us more about your time in the Roman army?
I was part of a legion, which is made up of 5,000 men, and 10 cohorts, which is made up of 480 men, and also 6 centuries, which is made up of 80 men, and 10 contuberniums, which is made up of 8 men.
So that's how the armies and the divisions and things were split apart?
Yes, and nowadays I still spend my time running races with old legionary fellow army people.
So when you were in the army, when it was downtime, you'd spend your time exercising, right?
Yes, we exercised, and we are almost all sprinters, very good sprinters.
Oh, okay. So, if you don't mind, we'd love to see some of your running ability, if you don't mind just showing us really quick. Just run in place. Just run in place for us. Marvelous.
A lot of interesting information from these guys who taught us all about their armies and about their sports. For E60, I'm Matt Ball. Thank you.
For all of you that missed history yesterday, I'll give you a recap. Yesterday, the famous Rome, Egyptian, and Greek food eating contest went down. For all of you that don't know the rules of this food eating contest, each country gets to provide each person and each plate of food. Each plate must weigh at least 3 pounds, but each country doesn't get to eat their own plate. The Romans will eat the Egyptian food, The Egyptians will eat the Greek food, and the Greek will eat the Roman food. And what will you be eating today?
Well, I'm going to have some salted red fish, and I'm going to have some grapes.
Alright, Egyptians, what will you be eating today?
I'll be eating some good old meat and some pineapples.
And Greeks, what will you be eating today?
I will be eating some bread and green pepper.
Oh, that sounds
Yes,
delicious.
Go.
This ain't fair.
Alright, what Romans would normally eat, they eat cereal grain at all meals, porridge for bread, and women usually eat grain to flour grinding. The foods of ancient Greece were similar we eat today, but do not include that we have become important parts of modern Greek cooking. For example, they would eat tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and bananas. Their main course every day was potatoes. The diet of Egyptians depended on their social position and wealth, tomb paintings, and medical people. Peasants might eat a limited diet, including staples of bread and beer, complemented by dates and pickled and salted fish. Learned about what these three countries eat now. I'm Aaron Hardcast from E16.
Well, if you haven't heard, this year's Olympic Games are going to be the best to ever happen. All happening because of 3 different athletes. One from Rome, one from Egypt, and one from Greece. Ranging from tug-of-hoopers to gladiators. These 3 men may be the greatest athletes to ever live.
Well, growing up as a child, I always sort of dreamed of being a professional tug-of-hooper, But finally, my dreams have come true, and I have a chance to prove how good I am to the world, and they will be aware of my greatness.
So growing up, I hear you didn't live in the greatest conditions.
Yeah, that's right. My family was not very wealthy. We were not high class. My dad was gone a lot. He was working for the pharaoh and building a tomb for him. I think that drove me to be the best athlete that I could, I wanted to change my family's life. I wanted my parents and my kids to be able to live better, I want to be the best tug-of-hooper in all of the world.
Alright, so what are your goals for this year's Olympic Games?
I want to win it all. Simple. I think I have the skill set. I have the mindset. I'm going to win. Simple as that.
Here we have the great Wasrit dominating a tug-of-hoop battle.
There you have it. Wasrit thinks he's going to win the Olympic Games. Our next story goes on to a speed demon, Agathon. A 5'6", absolute blazing speed. He's only on his trek to the Olympic Games. He's only lost 2 races, but in this year's Olympic Games, he goes on to face those 2 opponents.
Agathon, I hear you're going to be in the Olympics this year.
Yup, I can't wait for them. I have a great feeling about them.
What do you think is going to happen differently this time than this time that the 2 runners beat you,
Well, I've been training a lot harder and a lot more, and I also got the special juice that it's making me bigger, faster, and stronger.
Where did you get this juice that you speak of?
Well, I was praying to Zeus to help me out with my training, and suddenly it just appeared out of the sky.
It just appeared like that, really?
Yes.
Wow, and do you think that's going to help you?
I do. I think I'm going to win it. I'm not going to lose to those 2 opponents again.
Well, we're rooting for you.
We'll see if that juice pays off. Now, our next and final story takes us to the Roman gladiator Crispus. He's gone through battling men to lions, but unfortunately, he's lost all 52 of his matches.
Are you looking forward to this year's Olympic Games?
I cannot wait for this year's Olympics. It's going to be great.
What's going to be so different about this year's Olympics?
I'm going to win. That's going to be a new feeling.
Why are you going to win this time?
Because my Roman god is going to be with me, Neptune.
Neptune? But he is the god of water.
Oh no, I'm going to lose.
Here we show Crispus trying to practice his gladiating skills. And again, he gets beat.
That was a lot of cool things we learned about sports in the ancient times. For E60, I'm Nick Friends. See you next time.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into